Crespo is one of the hosts for Let's Talk Football, the Round Table. And Let's Talk Football Ladies Takeover.
Hi, everybody, and Let's Talk Football. Delilah Crespo here with another episode of Diversity with Delilah. All righty, so who am I bringing you today? Well, it's a little different, right? I'm here to talk about Earvin Magic Johnson, who is a minority owner of the Washington Commanders. Now, when I say minority owner, I don't mean as he is a minority that happens to own a stake in of a football team, because I know when you see that, like minority ownerships, and you start seeing more people of color, buying stakes, you're thinking, oh, it's because no. When we're talking about this, it has to do with investments, meaning he's not the full-fledged owner of the team. Does that make sense? So when you see minority owner attached to people of color's names, it's not because they're a minority, right? Right? Two definite, words, right? A lot of times, words that are spelled the same, sound the same, have different meanings, right? I'm sorry, that's the teacher in me. So when we see minority owner of an NFL team or of any other major team attached to people, it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be a person of color. It could be also a white person can be a minority owner of a team. Does that make sense? It just means that they are not the full-fledged owner, right? Someone invested the majority of their money, whether it's a person or a family, like the McCaskies, right? The McCaskies own the Bears outright, but they do have a few minority owners, and those owners are white. So that's what I'm trying to explain the difference. So when I'm talking about Earvin Magic Johnson as a minority owner of the Washington Commanders, it just means that he owns a stake of the Washington Commanders. And I just wanted to just clarify that. Now, I'm not going into a deep dive about Earvin Magic Johnson. I think a lot of us know who he is. So the reason I'm covering him is because he happens to own a stake of an NFL team, and we are starting to see more and more people of color coming into either, own teams or at least invest and become minority owners of NFL teams. And so this is why I wanted to cover Magic Johnson. So again, Magic Johnson is a minority owner of the Washington Commanders. It made a lot of news. He's not the first Black American to own a stake of an NFL team. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and Ariel Investments LLC president and CEO Melody Hobson. Both of these women, people should know who they are. Condoleezza Rice was a former Secretary of State. Melody Hobson is a very well-known, wealthy woman and a wealthy family in Chicago. And so they made history a few seasons ago by becoming the first Black women to partially own an NFL team. Both of these women were actually covered during our Ladies Takeover show last season. And so anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. So let's go back to Magic Johnson, right? NBA Hall of Famer. He added to his voluminous business portfolio by officially becoming part owner of the Washington Commanders. So after retirement, right, we've seen Magic Johnson pop up everywhere. He is an entrepreneur, businessman, likes to invest a lot of his money to keep growing his portfolio. So we are seeing more progress towards Black ownership of NFL teams, though there are no Black majority owners in the NFL. Hopefully we're going to get there, right? We're getting there. We are seeing, again, more and more Black people investing in these NFL teams to become partial owners. And I think we're going to see an outright ownership sooner rather than later. So again, there are no Black majority owners in the NFL currently. Magic Johnson became a limited owner when Josh Harris bought the Commanders. Made headlines last season, right? It took a while again, like, even though we knew that they won the bid, but when it comes to money and, all of that, it takes a while for everything to kind of roll over. So Josh Harris is the majority owner of the Commanders. But Magic Johnson invested a partial stake in the Commanders, and that's how he became a part owner. Johnson is also part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Los Angeles Sparks, and the Los Angeles FC, which is a soccer club out in L.A. We know Magic Johnson from winning 5 NBA titles as a player. He has also collected numerous championship rings as part owners of these other 3 sports teams, because the LA Sparks has won a WNBA championships. The Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, has won, And so, again, he likes winning. This is Magic Johnson. And so he wants to win more championships across all these different sports. He's a very competitive man. And that's what he said. He said that being part owner of the Washington Commanders ownership group has caused a different level of excitement for him for a simple reason. He said, there's no higher sports league than the NFL. It's been hard for us to get into the league. Johnson said that referring to African Americans as, owning parts of these NFL teams. And see, he continues saying, it's important because now all African Americans and minorities in this country feel like they're owners of this team too. Because I'm sitting in this position, so I can't wait. And so Magic understands how he is representative, right? How people can look to him and say, yes, I can one day own an NFL team. I can one day own a major league team, right? And so he understands that he is out there representing and showing African Americans everywhere that, yes, you can one day do this too. And so he understands how important it is he is, what a role model that he is. So Johnson also mentioned that he spoke to Washington players, stressing the importance of preparation and discipline when it comes to winning titles. He says, I kept telling them I've never been satisfied. I'm a guy who wants more. I've always wanted more. I have 14 world championship rings, and now I want a Super Bowl ring. And so how can I help them achieve that? So he's talking about how he's met with the players, right? He's met with the team, and he's saying he wants a Super Bowl ring, right? He's got all these other wins. And it's not enough. And I like that hunger. And I hope that we start seeing it, trickle down into the team. And I know, my Washington Commander fans, Sean, Ab, and Will, Kramer. I hope that you start seeing the hunger that Magic has for winning, and hopefully we start seeing more of that, throughout the rest of the season, and of course in the upcoming season, because this is coming from him saying how he wants. It's not enough. His NBA championships were enough. Winning other championships through the other major teams, winning, Olympic gold. That's what he's talking about, the, world championship rings, all of that. It's not enough. He wants a Super Bowl ring, okay? So it's good that y'all have such a hungry owner. He also said, you don't have to worry about no problems from this ownership group. You just have to concentrate on Sundays playing football. You ain't going to read no headlines. You're not going to have to worry about nothing. No questions from you guys about stuff off the field. Your job is just to concentrate on doing your job and having fun every Sunday, every Thursday, or every Monday. That's it. And so that's where Magic is coming from. And so this is why I wanted to cover Magic Johnson. I wasn't going to cover his biography. I think all of us pretty much know who he is. And if you don't, Google is out there. This is a football show. And I think it's important to see that. I think it's important to elevate that you are starting to see more Black Americans enter the NFL as part owners. And so one day, I do believe sooner rather than later, we will see a majority owner African American of an NFL team. And again, we're starting to see it more now. With the Denver Broncos, they have 2 Black women as minority stakeholders of an NFL team. And now we have Magic Johnson over here with the Washington Commanders. And he's hungry, y'all. He's hungry. So I hope all of you Washington Commander fans are happy to hear this. And I hope that it starts, delivering for y'all. Okay. I hope it starts delivering for y'all. I hope you start seeing that hunger that Magic has leak into the rest of the team and change that atmosphere. And as you can see, he's there to support the team and all of that and help it grow. Anyway, so that's my diversity with Delilah. All right. Also, this week in the U.S., we are celebrating Thanksgiving. And I see that as a time of being grateful and giving thanks. And so I hope that those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving in the U.S., all of those you watching, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family or your friends. And if you're working, God love you, because I know some of y'all out there have to work on Thanksgiving. And so whichever way, I hope everyone has a nice Thanksgiving. I will see you next week with another episode of Diversity with Delilah.
Yeah.